2026 is a battery fight disguised as a racing war. One manufacturer is about to look like a genius, and another, or maybe multiple, are about to be out of business. Preseason, and this is Rolling Start. I'm James.
I'm Ben. And I'm angry, James. We're changing everything up.
It's a therapy session.
Everyone is propping up these new regulations.
Yes.
I feel a little gaslighted, and I get triggered when I feel
100%.
gaslighted because I've been gaslighted before. I don't like it. And I feel like the entire F1 world is just trying to say, these regs are so great.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to rev your engine for like 5 seconds before you can actually go. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We want that, right?
Yeah.
Half of the speed, half of the engine comes from just electric motor, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We have to manage. You've got to manage. You can't go flat out. You've got to manage, but that's a good thing.
Yes.
James, I'm going into 2026, and I don't know if it's a good thing.
I don't know if it's a good thing. Here's the thing. The FIA was supposed to save racing. It was supposed to save Formula One by introducing these regulations, and it just overcomplicated it into oblivion. You've got Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Alonso, all multiple world champions going, this is crap.
Golden era of F1 is a possibility with those guys on the track. And Alonso's like, yeah, the chef from the kitchen could be driving this thing.
It's terrifying.
Now.
It's terrifying. I mean, he has more problems now than he did when he made that statement.
Oh, God.
You know,
Gotta get to that.
It's smaller cars, more active aerodynamics, and a 50-50 engine to battery ratio. And it feels excruciatingly complicated.
It is a new frontier for F1 because we've never been here before.
Right.
And so with that, I understand there's new ground we're covering. I understand the sustainability push. But at the end of the day, closer racing and chaos on track are two different things.
Right.
We talked about this before the show started, and we're not sure which one we're going to get. Are we going to get closer racing where there's more overtakes, we're able to actually see the cars battling, or is it just going to be chaotic?
Yeah.
Those are two separate things.
I wonder if we're even going to get all of the cars to the grid. As it stands right now, there's a regulation that requires that all the cars have to qualify within a certain amount of time.
I know where you're going with this.
And I think it's like 1.7, 1.3 seconds or something. So right now, there's a very real possibility that Aston Martin, which we'll talk about in detail,
God almighty,
and also Cadillac, they won't finish within that, and possibly Audi, but most likely not. They won't finish within the regulated time limit of closeness. And so they might not even be able to start up. Now, obviously, the FIA is going to take some, they're going to be a little lax around that.
A little generous.
But the point is that if they qualify that badly, there's not going to be any racing from them.
No.
They're just going to be lapped over and over and over and over again.
Alonso's going to lose his mind.
Exactly. He's not even going to want to race. It's going to be like watching George Russell cry in his Williams debut car that was just absolutely trash. It's a tough place to be. I think what we will see is chaos more than close racing in the beginning. Because here's the thing. These regulations are around for a while.
Yeah, they are.
And the engineers will be the engineers, and they will figure this out. There's hope when you look at how well Ferrari starts, and there's hope when you look at how good Mercedes long runs are.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, so there could be some great racing here. And also all of the aerodynamic packages are so different. Like, obviously Aston Martin has an engine that can't work for more than 30 minutes at a time right now. But other than that, the car looks completely different than everything else on the grid.
Yeah, it does.
Design-wise, aerodynamics-wise, it looks different. Ferrari looks totally different. Red Bull looks totally different. Mercedes looks totally different. It's amazing what we're seeing out there.
Yeah.
And that's very different than the last regulations because everyone was milliseconds and almost in identical cars by the end of the regulations.
Yeah. No, it was really tight. It was really close. I mean, this is always the hazard that comes along with change is you're changing things.
Yes.
And therefore, everyone's got to get with the program. Everyone's got to adjust. Everyone's got to adapt.
Yep.
Some will be early adapters. Some will be successful at adapting. Some won't be. And so I want F1 racing to continue to be competitive and to continue to be entertaining. Competitive for the drivers, entertaining for the fans. And so this is the piece of it where it feels like there may be some growing pains initially, both for drivers and for fans having to get used to the new changes, the new adjustments. Now, obviously, Australia is this next week. We have not seen the cars go racing. We don't know if teams have been sandbagging. We don't really know like where everyone truly is at. That will come in Australia, which is exciting. But there are some indicators. There's some predictions coming out around which teams feel like they're going to be out the gate at a better rate than others. But it's just one of these moments of, I just don't like change, James. This is what it comes down to.
See, I love change. I want it to change all the time. The problem that I see is that I want to see on an F1 grid, I want to see constructors and drivers battling it out. I don't want to see a battery arms race.
Which is where it feels like we're at.
Exactly.
It's 50% of the horsepower.
Yeah, they've gone this sustainable route where they're basically trying to make 1,000 horsepower by strapping a Prius lithium-ion battery to every one of these engines. And it's like, I want to see rockets, not fuel-efficient lawnmowers going around the track. This is the biggest engine gamble since 2014. And nobody wants to say that it's not, as it is right now, it does not look like it's working.
Oof. I mean, and this is the thing that is terrifying about the new reg changes.
Yes.
And this is where I feel like there's some gaslighting going on. There's some propping up going on. No one wants to name what you've just said. Hey, looks like it's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, Max is out there, saying what Max always says, which is refreshing. But in the event this just doesn't result in better racing, what do we do? Do we have to shift things? Does the FIA have to go back to the drawing board? Like, if this new regs just falls flat on its face, what do we do?
Well, think about it historically, right? So new regulations fell flat on their face for most other engine providers except for Mercedes in their golden era, or I should say their silver era. And they dominated, and it just took a while for everyone else to catch up. And really, they only did because of an Adrian Newey car and an unreliable Renault engine and Max Verstappen. Those are the only ones that he was the only, I should say he was the only one that could really take it to them at the end of their dominance. So we could see something like that. And the FIA did not change anything. And we watched years of everyone fighting on the field with the exception of Lewis winning race after race and Valtteri coming in second over and over again. And so I don't think, to answer your question, they're going to change anything. I think they'll hold tight to their regulations and hope for the best. And honestly, they'll be okay because there will be a ton of chaos for the first half of the season.
And again, chaos satisfies the entertaining piece of the sport, right?
Not the skill, though.
No, it doesn't satisfy the skill piece of it or the actual racing piece of it. It is entertaining.
For sure.
My kids, all they want to see are the crashes.
Yes.
But they're 6 and 4, right? So
exactly.
It's just like...
and we love a little bit of the fact that we're running engines and equipment to beyond its capacity for extended periods of time. And so we see a moment where Max Verstappen's power unit fails and he's in a tight battle and he's out. Yeah. We see a moment where Lando clips another driver, gets a flat tire. And that I'm here for.
Yeah.
But only because the rest of the season, it was based off of their driving ability in their car, not whether or not they got their revs down and stalled off of the line first, because the battery needs to be in the most perfect condition in order to work, or the turbo needs to be at exactly the right RPM. I think that's the concerning part for me, is it feels less like driver and constructor ability and more like it's like the luck of the drawer.
Yeah, I mean,
it works for Vegas, but there's a reason why there's only one Vegas race.
Yeah. There's something about it too, where these cars continue to advance in their sophistication. And there is something, again, that's compelling about that. But there is something that's just raw about a man, a machine fighting another driver and a machine. And it's just the speed and the raw power of it. And the sophistication bit feels like we're just kind of getting really into the weeds in the technical side, where you've got to literally align the stars to just get off the line.
Yes.
And this is the piece where it's like, wait, are we going too far in one direction to where we're sacrificing this just driver and raw power against another driver and raw power? It feels like we're just
skill against skill rather than like luck against luck.
Yeah, it feels like it's just becoming so incredible. And again, F1 is an incredibly technical sport. It is one of the largest team sports, if not the largest team sport in the world. Like, there's a reason there's 1,000 employees working on this car and working behind two drivers. There's a reason for that. And like, that is a beautiful thing when it goes right. It just feels like we're going deeper and deeper into that technical side of things, as opposed to, it's not getting simpler, it's getting more complex.
Yeah.
There's more variables, especially now with the hybrid power unit being 50% of the power.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because we have Red Bull, who have built their own engine. They have Ford as a technical partner on the electric side. So did Red Bull just bet their dynasty on an unproven engine? Is this innovation or is it ego?
Regardless of what it is, it appears that it's, prior to a race, working. It appears they've actually gambled well. And I don't know if it is that they've gambled well or they just undersold it to where everyone is impressed now. They lowered expectations last year and everyone expected nothing of them. They've come out the gate and everyone's really impressed with their reliability.
Yes.
And that's the thing everyone keeps going back to is Red Bull. Oh my God, they're reliable. Like, we did not see that coming. And so regardless of what their motivation was, they went for it. They wanted to develop their own power unit. They wanted to be one of those teams.
Right.
And it appears like they've actually hit something.
Yeah.
It appears they've struck gold. We'll see if it lasts. We'll see if they're able to actually like become that dominant force again. But for being a new power unit team, for bringing on a new constructor and Ford, like, that's huge.
Yes.
That's a huge gamble. It's a huge risk.
Well,
and it looks like it's paying off.
It felt at the time like an act of hubris
on the part of
Red Bull.
Horner.
You're an energy drink supplier. You've come in and you've designed the car in-house. That's one thing. And you've relied on engines and you've had an incredible amount of success because of it.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, we don't want to just be an energy drink company anymore that designs a really good car and gets an engine from somebody else. We want to build our own engine, our own gearbox, our own everything.
Yeah, well, they need another mountaintop to climb. They literally won every race but one a few seasons ago. Like
100%.
I feel like Red Bull is constantly saying, like, we've got to keep pushing ourselves. Yes. And maybe this, was Christian pushing himself, pushing the team to a new height and say, this is one more summit we need to take.
Yeah.
We want to be like a Mercedes. We want to be like a Ferrari, where we're actually in this league of developing our own power unit. And I think you've got to find new challenges if you're a team, right?
100%.
So it might just be that Red Bull, like, whether it's hubristic or not, like, was like, we need a new challenge, because they had they had dominated in a way no one else had dominated before, right? So like, I obviously am a Red Bull fan, I'm a Max fan. It feels like it was a new mountain for them to climb, which is part of, I would think, their motivation for wanting to go that route.
And I think if Red Bull nails this, they look like visionaries.
Oh God. I mean, in Red Bull's always been the underdog. We'll try anything. We will throw the dice when the stakes are the largest. Like,
yes,
they are that team, and this feels in line with that.
Yes. It also brings to mind what happens if they don't. And if they don't,
they lose Max.
I think this is the most self-inflicted wound in the modern F1 era. If you go from being a team that had incredible success designing a car and using other engine providers to becoming your own engine provider, and you lose a prolific talent,
the greatest driver in the world.
Hence why I stick with the fact that this is an act of hubris. Now, hubris is okay. Hubris was what gave us the Model X from Tesla, and it was an act of hubris. And one of the most successful cars. And so visionaries in general tend to act like this. And it'll be interesting. As of now, it looks like the dice is weighted in their direction.
It does. I think Red Bull just took a huge gamble. And if it pays off, I honestly think if it pays off, they've got Max for life. Where else is he going to go? Like, and if it pays off and they are once again not even dominant, if they're just competitive, and then Max takes it and makes it dominant, Max is there. He ain't going anywhere else. If it doesn't pay off, and if it's unreliable, and if they're not able to come back, I do think Max either goes somewhere else or he does a Michael Jordan and like dips out of F1 for a couple seasons.
100%.
Really?
Which he totally would do. Because he's already expressed that if this is not good racing, he is out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. That's Red Bull. The other big talk coming out of seasoning is Mercedes. If Mercedes comes swinging in 2026, nobody is catching them before 2028. Mercedes built the hybrid era. Are we watching the sequel?
Time will only tell. Mercedes constantly said they found their North Star, where in fact they just found a black hole.
Yes. But they are not saying that they have found their North Star now. Mercedes has eaten their humble pie. Toto is underselling or either sandbagging. They do not think that they are the fastest, but every single team is looking at Mercedes, and they are still saying they've got something that we do not have. Even Ferrari, who is the talk of the preseason testing.
We'll get to them.
They're still looking at Mercedes going, there's something there that we're missing.
I will believe it when I see it. But Mercedes does look like they have found maybe like a twinkle, twinkle, little star. and good.
It's just George Russell up there like this.
George Russell,
just arms spread.
No. I mean, jokes aside, Mercedes does look like they have found something.
Yes.
And this might be the long journey back to the front that they have so desperately been searching for and have been unable to fully grasp.
Yeah.
And again, here's my question to you. If Mercedes has found it, if they are at the front of the pack, if they are at the tip of the spear, who is going to come out on top? Is
George.
it Russell?
No, it's George.
Or Kimi?
It's George. Look at where George was last year, all of last year. He was right there or thereabouts. The only thing that was holding George back
was like on his own in fifth and just kind of like
he was always there. He was in contention for the championship for way longer than he should have been. Way longer.
Yeah.
He had way too many points for someone that never, like, was not winning races.
No, wasn't it through Brazil that he was
It
like
was wild.
technically
Yes,
in the
like
championship?
it was absolutely wild because he was always there. He's super consistent.
Yeah,
I would say from like an emotional maturity standpoint, he seems to be so political. He reminds me of like what Alan Prost was like. He was just the effervescent politician. Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
George.
Prost. And George is the same. Like he just kind of pokes the bear, but he does it in a way that seems like totally okay. And then the drivers are all pissed.
Yeah.
But George comes through, and I think he's got the emotional prowess to take it. The team loves him. They're surrounding him. He's still the number one driver. They're going to back him over Kimi.
Yeah.
And I think this is his year to shine.
It is, if Mercedes has it. Yeah. I mean, like, this is not a year for George Russell to be one-upped by Kimi in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think Kimi still has a lot to learn. Kimi obviously is an incredibly fast driver. He will be one of the stars of the future. But there is no room and there's no ground for George to give up this year, especially if he's got the car. He has got to cinch it. He has got to fight tooth and nail. And again, Mercedes, I don't think is going to have any papaya rules here. Like,
no,
they're going to back George.
They're going to back George 100%.
They're going to have a one dominant driver strategy. And if Mercedes brings the engines, George has got to take it.
Well, I think the beautiful thing about Mercedes is that they still dominate the grid from a Mercedes engine power unit, just the sheer number of teams that use them. And so the amount of data that they have coming from all of the testing that we have had so far is astronomical in comparison to the other teams.
No, it's unreal.
In comparison to Honda, who's had like 12 laps, in comparison to Audi, who's brand new, and they did super well through testing, but one team, and then you've got Ferrari. Okay, they've got a few teams. That's great.
Yep.
Everyone else is Mercedes.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of that data going straight back into Toto's iPhone. And he's just going, yes, give me the data.
No,
and and that is going to develop the engine that is already allegedly the most advanced engine.
Yeah.
It's faster than the rest of the grid.
Dude, it's such a snowball effect. Literally, the Sky Sports team and friend of the show, Simon Lazenby, was having this conversation, this exact conversation where they were saying, listen, this is it. And this is a phrase I'll use. They didn't use this, so I'm paraphrasing. But this is like a data war. Like it is a war of data points. And so Mercedes is winning that war of data points because, to your point, all of these teams are using their engine and they are getting all that information and they're just feeding it into their upgrades and their updates and what they're understanding about where they're at. And again, you look at a Honda, they are screwed. They are so screwed when it comes to this data war because they're the only one.
100%.
And also they're 4 seconds off the pace and they're not getting data from anywhere else. And so same thing with Audi. They're kind of on an island of themselves. Obviously Red Bull with Ford is in an island by themselves, but it's Mercedes, it's Ferrari that are the ones that are just.
Yeah, they're soaking it up and they're able to adjust and change and they're able to see it across multiple different areas. And it is powerful, not just for them, but also for the teams that they support. So you have teams like an Alpine who are looking like they have a really strong package. They've got some of the most advanced aerodynamic parts coming because they had the most time in the wind tunnel.
Yeah.
And then now they're going to have the most advanced engine. And that could really affect teams like Ferrari, like Aston Martin, like all these other teams, because all of a sudden you've got a team that you were counting out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like top of the mid pack. Like that could be unreal.
I mean, I feel like Alpine, if there's a resurgence, Williams is in trouble.
Oh, 100%. My money's on Alpine at the moment.
Yeah. Williams really is in trouble for that 5th spot because you still have the top 4. You got McLaren,
100%.
Mercedes, Ferrari,
100%.
Red Bull. But in that number 5 spot, Alpine is looking good for it. Because of, again, them finally having an engine supplier with some speed.
Yes.
As opposed to last year. But
exactly.
no, I mean, again, Mercedes is
They're looking solid. They're looking solid. And
They are.
But the piece of it that is scary is how much information is feeding into the development of that car, that engine. And you are really seeing how other teams are going to be at a severe disadvantage, these one-off power unit teams, because they don't have that same amount of information
Yeah.
to update their engines.
Yeah,
So,
it'll be interesting. It does look like it's really swinging Mercedes' way at the moment, but they will not get this title without a fight.
mhm.
2026 is the year of Ferrari's redemption or deja vu. Do we trust Ferrari to win the engine war? Is this the last chance that Ferrari has to stop living off of nostalgia? Like, if Ferrari gets this right, it's biblical.
Dude,
If they don't, it's just predictable.
it is. There are some good signals, and there are some good signs coming out of Ferrari right now.
Yes.
So just like Mercedes, it looks like they've got something, and so they're going to be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited to see Lewis actually win a race.
Yes.
Not just a sprint,
100%.
a race
Yes.
in red. Like, that's an exciting prospect. Like, Lewis fighting at the front. Like, what a concept.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. If Ferrari
this
nails
is
20,
possible.
yes, if Ferrari nails 26, Lewis becomes immortal. Like,
If Lewis wins,
if they don't,
yeah.
this move that he made just becomes more and more uncomfortable. But this could be everything that Freddie V has been waiting for. And it looks that even the body language throughout practice, they're smiling, they're laid back. There's a joy. Like, it's not like the Ferraris of the years past. Like, I think they really feel like they've got something good here.
Dude.
And they came out with the weird, 360-degree flippy wing thing that looked like it was.
Yeah, I heard about this.
They're thinking it's going to come out at like the high slippy tracks, but they just feel confident, and not because of what they have done, but because of what could be.
If they nail this year, this feels like a new foundation for them to build off of. New credibility in the sport, and them actually meeting the moment as opposed to relying on what's come before. And again, if Ferrari can do that, that's only good for this sport. That's only good for F1.
Yeah.
Ferrari needs to be competitive, and they need to fight for the constructors and for the drivers. They've got to be in the mix.
100%.
And F1 is better when Ferrari's in the mix.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah,
Who
sure.
needs 2026 more? Ferrari or Lewis?
That's a good question. Shoot.
That's where my mind goes. If this is a good year, who needs it more? Does Lewis need it more, or does Ferrari need it more?
Well, here's the thing. Ferrari, they're around. They've been around. They will continue to be around. Lewis, the clock is winding down.
Yes.
So I would say Lewis. He needs it more because he doesn't have another decade, another 2 decades. Like, this is the last couple of years for him. Ferrari's going to be here in 20, 30 years.
Totally.
Lewis ain't. So this is a year Lewis desperately needs if he wants to solidify and etch his name as the greatest of all time for the foreseeable future until someone can break that. He has got to make this happen this year.
If Ferrari comes out of the gate swinging and they express some dominance in the beginning of the season, do you think they will immediately back Lewis, or do you think they will do some version of red rules?
Yeah, like a papaya rules, but Ferrari style. I mean, here's the thing too. Obviously, Lewis is chasing greatness. He's chasing immortality. Chuck's chasing his first championship. And the
100%.
man's been with Ferrari.
He's been there. He's been loyal.
He has been there. He has been loyal through
100%.
the ups, through the downs. Like, this is the piece of it where you'd hate to see Ferrari throw all their weight behind a
100%.
single driver at the beginning of a season. They should consider the papaya rules in McLaren as much as we want to, all of us want to talk about the dynamics of that and how complex that is. They might want to actually learn a thing or two and say, hey, like, if we want to keep Chuck,
Yes.
then we've got to give him a chance. We got to give him a shot. The guy's fast. And if you can give him a car to actually win in, like, he deserves a shot.
Yes.
So we are not in a situation where it's a Max and an Isaac pairing. We are in a situation where it's a Lewis and a Chuck pairing. Now, again, Chuck hasn't won yet, but the man knows how to win.
Yes.
So he is a champion in the making. And I feel like Ferrari's got to let him go, and they've got to let him have a chance to race Lewis. I don't think they should be picking a top driver at any early stages of the season.
So you're saying Ferrari needs to figure out, there needs to be a line where it's, okay, we are making the decision to go with this driver, but it has to be performance-based, not history-based. Not based on the fact that Charles has a history with the team and has been faithful to it, or the fact that Lewis has come in with 7 world titles and we brought him in to win his 8th. It needs to be, no, we're here, you have good cars, go show us who's better.
Yeah. I mean,
we think that.
we think that.
Do you think Ferrari will do that?
Hell no.
What do you think they'll do?
I think what they're probably going to do is back Lewis. Because they paid the man $500 million. And Chuck's like, guys, are we going to re-up my contract?
Yeah,
anytime soon?"
exactly.
Like, they're going to back Lewis.
Yeah.
Because he's
Lewis
going
is
for
their guy.
8. And
Yes.
he's going for go. I mean, like, of course they're going to back Lewis. They shouldn't, but they will, because at the end of the day, the man's got 7. And he's going to look at Chuck and say, how many do you got?
Exactly.
You got nothing. So, but at the end of the day, I don't know what kind of internal conversations they're having.
Right.
Who knows what determination they've already made. This may all be moot. They might be going into the season already having a pecking order and saying, Chuck, you've got the next, how old's Chuck? 20 something?
Yeah, something like that.
He's got like 15, 20 years. Like, you want to be with this? Like, Lewis has got 2 more, maybe 3 more. Who knows? This is his time. And that doesn't seem fair to me when teams do that, when any sports like predetermine certain things. Yeah. It should be the athlete unleashed.
Yes.
In whatever the arena is, to compete until the lights are out and the curtain comes down and the time expires. Like, that should be sport.
Yep.
So I hate when things get predetermined. But a lot of these teams, like, they've got to back who they think the winning horse is going to be, you know? And I think in Ferrari, they're going to back Lewis. At least that's my assessment.
It's very interesting. Okay, so we have Ferrari, we have Red Bull, we have Mercedes.
We haven't talked about the reigning champions yet.
And we have McLaren.
Yeah. They kind of feel like they're going under the radar a little bit this time.
Yeah. They're going for their 3rd Constructors Championship. Lando's going for his 2nd World Drivers Championship. And what's the other guy's name? Oscar Piastri is going for his 1st. They are going with papaya rules again. And 2 number 1 drivers.
But one of them has the number 1 on his car.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Do we feel like they are hunter or hunted this season?
Well, anytime you're number 1, you are the hunted. You are the one who
is
has
that true
to
even with the regulations as they are?
Yeah, because the shadow of last season will still follow us into this season. So yes, like, the regulations have changed, but if there wasn't carryover,
right,
you wouldn't have number 1 on your car the next season.
Mm-hmm.
So there is still that championship effect, that defending championship effect where it's yours to defend until it's taken away.
Yeah.
Right. So again, like even as the regs change, McLaren is still the defending constructors and the defending drivers champions.
Yeah, my thought is like, while everyone's arguing about Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari's flippy wing, I just felt like McLaren throughout the entire testing period was just locked in and executing on their plan and moving forward and going their route that has been proven to work over and over again for the last few years, which is we're just going to get in and we're going to slowly increase our efficiency. We're going to do this run, and then we're going to get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And everything that we bring, we're going to triple test and put it before we put it on the car.
Yeah.
I just wonder if they're the smartest team that no one's yelling about right now.
Yeah, everyone is hype about Mercedes because Mercedes has been lost for years. Everyone's hype about Ferrari because Ferrari has been lost for decades. Everyone's hype about Red Bull because Red Bull's bringing a new power unit and they're bringing Ford in.
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh my God, you're good. Actually, we thought you were going to suck. So that's taking up a lot of the space and energy.
Right.
And a lot of like the hot airing right now.
Yes.
And I think McLaren is just.
Well, because here's the
right
thing.
here.
Think about it. Same designers that have designed the last two cars that have won the world championship. Great.
Yeah.
Same power unit supplier that has won this for them. None of the factory pressure attached with not only developing your own engine, but supplying 5 other teams.
Yep.
They are 100% focused. They don't have to build a new power unit. They don't have to launch a new manufacturer.
Yeah.
They don't have to start from scratch. They potentially are dominant already, and we don't know. They have dominant designers, and they most likely have the dominant engine, and they don't have to worry about collecting all of the data and making it better because Mercedes is going to do that for them, or at least in partnership with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the benefit of being the defending champion in this scenario is you dominated this last season. And the same team that dominated is back.
Exactly.
It's the comparison doesn't track apples to apples here, but it's like when the Bulls were dominant with Michael Jordan, right? And then they just ran it back, with the same crew, and then they ran it back with the same crew. It's like McLaren has the potential here to just run it back again.
100%. I think McLaren's going, we don't need to build the best engine. We just need to pick the best engine.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep winning. And you focus on dealing with all of the other politics that go with that, Toto. And I'm going to focus on winning the freaking championship.
I'm going to focus on beating you with your engine.
Exactly. If Mercedes power unit wins, McLaren wins.
Yeah.
The writing on the wall right now is that Mercedes power unit is ridiculous. And it's more advanced than everything. So that's great for Mercedes. And they have the one up, but they did not win the last 2 drivers' championship. And their designers sure as hell didn't design a winning car the last 2 times. So the safe money would be on the people that have been winning and that have the best engine. And that is McLaren right now.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And that's, I think, a great perspective that Mercedes doing well bodes better for McLaren than it does for Mercedes at this point, until Mercedes shows us differently.
Yes.
Question for you. Is it fair that Papaya rules 2 number 1 drivers is still in existence now that McLaren has 1 number 1 driver?
I think this has been the first time that I really love that rule. Because we're not starting the season expecting McLaren to back their world champion. We're starting the season going, well done, Lando. Well done, Oscar, for a wonderful season. Let's go out there and see which one of you is going to win it this year.
Back to square one.
Back to square one. And that's the way that Formula One should be. Michael Schumacher hated the fact that other drivers used to have to slow down for him so that he could win first if they were in the same car as him. The F1 fans hated that.
Yeah.
So why would we? No one liked when Bottas legitimately outperformed Lewis and they called him and they held him back. You remember those moments where he would be on the qualifying lap and he was going to qualify ahead of Lewis, and his engineer would say, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. You're taking the corner too fast. No one likes hearing that.
No,
I want to see two drivers going at it. I do think that if we reach the midway point and one of them is like 200 points ahead of the other person and it's statistically implausible, then go ahead, back him.
Yeah, of course.
But I do not think we will be there with Oscar and Lando.
Which of the two McLaren drivers finishes ahead of the other this year?
My money's on Lando only because the biggest thing that was holding him back, the mental side of it, I felt like he conquered without a world title last year, and now he has a world title. And I imagine that there is some form of a euphoria and maturity that seeps over you after you've gotten what you've worked your entire life for. Think Max after 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different person.
Yeah.
Lando, we will see this season if he has become a totally different person. And my money is that he has. However, Oscar is extremely hungry. And the grid will be full of chaos. And to me, it comes back to the power unit. Like, if Mercedes builds a monster for 2026, I think McLaren is the most dangerous team.
It's crazy, man. But it tracks, though. It tracks. And I love that McLaren is just doing their thing. And it's not like they're drawing a ton of attention to themselves, even though they realistically should. And part of me thinks there was a McGregor fight, MMA fight years ago. This is like 2019, and he was facing Cowboy. I'm not sure if you saw this, but it was his first fight back, and everyone was losing their minds. It was all this hype, and the fight lasted like 30 seconds. McGregor literally breaks Cowboy's nose with his elbow, or no, he's like shoulder, and then he can't breathe and he's just done. And part of me feels like what happened in that fight between Cowboy and McGregor is kind of what's going to happen in this season, where McLaren is literally just going to freaking body slam other teams and just be like, we're back. You're down.
Stay down.
That's like, and part of me is just like
100%.
Like this. They're gonna show up and they're gonna be like, "We're the champions for a reason. We're defending the titles for a reason, and we're going to freaking crush these new regs." Now, again, like I would love to see that happen, and part of me feels like they're just kind of like they're just in the back. They're just in the back. Like Mercedes and Ferrari enjoy the spotlight, enjoy the fact that everyone thinks you're gonna be so great. And we're just going to freaking come out and just dominate you.
100%. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, biggest flop, Aston Martin.
No.
Lawrence Stroll has spent championship money. And 2026 decides if it's going to be a championship vision. They have superstars that they have hired. They have the factory that everybody wants. 4 seconds behind.
Unreal.
Holding their hats in their hand, can't run their power unit for more than 30 minutes, can't do anything. The only person that benefits from Aston Martin's current condition is Lance, because no one's talking about his underperformance because the car can't perform, period. What? Is this the most expensive rebuild? How much more can you say next year is our year? 2026 was supposed to be it for them.
Yeah.
When does that become old? It's like watching Ferrari, but they have no nostalgia to rest on.
No. I mean, it's so infuriating watching a team go through what Aston Martin's going through. And there's this moment where you're like, oh, wait, it can get worse. And it is getting worse.
Yes.
And they have everything that any team would need. It's like, I think a baseball comparison, since we're gearing up for baseball season
Right.
2, is the New York Yankees in baseball. They have all of the money, they have all the facilities, they have all of the stars, and they just cannot. This era of New York Yankees cannot win the World Series.
Mhm.
They can't do it. And like, there are
Yes,
other teams
this
with
is exactly
way
right.
less money, farm teams freaking practically, who are taking it to the Yankees. And I know, because I'm from Cleveland. And Cleveland, there's one moment where like they're freaking taking it to these guys. And it's like the Brooklyn Bombers. All these guys do are hit home runs, and they're losing to a bunch of guys who hit singles
Right.
and doubles and just steal a bunch of bases. And you're like, wait, hang on a second. This shouldn't happen in sports. Now, it's wonderful when it does. And it's wonderful being from a team who like is this
100%.
no money team taken to the big team. Aston Martin is the New York Yankees of F1. They've got the money, they have the talent, and they cannot win.
No.
And it is only getting worse. And so this is where, just like Aaron Judge is like, hey, what are we doing here, bro?
Yes.
Fernando Alonso is like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to get worse. I thought we were turning the corner,
Dude.
not making some left-hander out into freaking no man's land. Like, I cannot believe we have gotten worse with the best.
Yeah.
And that is Aston's story right now. Like, they're not fighting for best of the rest. They're fighting with Cadillac at the back.
They're not even fighting with Cadillac.
It's
They're not
crazy.
they're not fighting with anyone. And we're approaching a point where the engines have to be locked in. The design has to be locked in, and they could be stuck with Honda.
Unreal.
And underpowered. We could be looking at like what Alpine was last year, where no matter how hard they tried, they had an engine that was significantly underpowered in comparison. To say that they're overhyped would be an understatement.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm trying to figure out where the blame lands. Like, Aston Martin, you don't get a grace period in 2026.
No,
We've been waiting for you to come out of the gates in 2026. You don't build that kind of facility. You don't hire these kind of people to finish in P5, let alone P11. Or this season, your drivers to finish in P21 and 22.
God.
If this project misses, I don't think it's unlucky. I think it's structural. 2026, to me, Aston Martin, are you elite or are you just expensive? And I think it's just leaning towards you're just really expensive.
Aston is hemorrhaging in a lot of ways right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they are the team with the most to lose in 2026. If this goes as badly as it's looking for Aston Martin in 2026, I don't know where they look to turn things around. I feel like they have invested, a lot of teams invest, but they have invested so much into their talent, so much into their facilities.
Yep.
And they are absolutely in no man's land. And they have a very, very long road back. We've seen this with Mercedes. When Mercedes got it wrong,
yeah,
they have yet to get it right. It is years of a way back. There are some bright moments like McLaren when they can, in a season, come back.
Yeah.
But no one really else has been able to do that besides McLaren.
Right.
And Aston is not McLaren. And so...
Well, they don't have the power unit that...
No.
McLaren fixed their car aerodynamic because their power unit was competitive. The talk on the grid now is that we think the car aerodynamically is amazing. It just has no power.
So to Adrian's point, Adrian can design an incredible car.
Correct.
But they are stuck with Honda.
Correct.
And Honda did this like, we're in, we're out.
100%.
Let's,
Yep. They're trying to ride the heels of their dominance with Red Bull.
So, I mean, and this is where Aston's down and everyone's just piling on top of them now, because like we said earlier with Mercedes has so much information,
Mm-hmm.
and information is power in F1. Honda and Aston have like no information, and they are going into this season practically blind.
Mm-hmm.
No one else is using their power unit. They are on an island. They are fending for themselves. It is fight to the death. And they are going up against teams that have multiple teams using their power unit, feeding all that data back into kind of the mothership, as it were. And Aston has nothing.
Yeah.
They've got an incredible designer. They've got a team principal in Adrian. They've got a phenomenal talent that they're wasting in Alonso. And again, you got to ask yourself too, how long is Alonso going to put up with this insanity? Like, he has had one string of bad luck and bad decisions and bad choices.
100%.
It pains you to see him have to go through another season where he is not able to race in the way that we all know he can.
Yeah.
And it's because they just crapped the bed. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, no, Honda did. Honda crapped the bed, and Aston Martin chose them. And they were with Mercedes.
Oh my God.
Literally none of this would even be a discussion point right now if they stayed with Mercedes. And they didn't leave Mercedes, in my mind, for a justifiable reason.
Mm.
They left Mercedes after McLaren won 2 world championships with them in a row for a team that won one beforehand.
Yeah. That's
a brand new.
insane.
It does not make sense. But here they are. I do want to talk about Cadillac for a second, because I was thoroughly impressed with both Cadillac and Audi. Cadillac specifically, really amazing to see a team come to the grid 100% brand new.
Yeah, absolutely.
New car, existing engine, never been on the grid before.
Mm-hmm.
Audi was amazing. They'd been in it for a minute. They'd been a partner. They overtook Sauber. Sauber's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Cadillac has come in and they held their own. They got a ton of laps in, tons of data. And I think what we could see is like them jump up to some pretty impressive performance, like Haas did in its early days.
Yeah. And I mean, I think in addition to everything you just said too, they've got 2 incredible drivers.
Yes.
They've got Checo.
Yes.
They've got Bottas. They've got drivers who are just veterans in this sport, but just incredible human beings. Just
100%.
Incredible sportsmen. Like, I think they've picked their driver lineup incredibly well. There's drivers who are going to also be feeding information back, giving feedback back to the team. And they're not dealing with rookies here.
Right.
They didn't pick a Logan Sargent, for God's sake. Like, they picked top shelf drivers.
Yeah.
And so I think that is only going to benefit them.
Agreed.
As they are having to quickly develop, quickly keep pace with others around them. But also, yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see a team come in brand new, hit the ground running. And again, you contrast that to an Aston.
Yeah.
And it just makes Cadillac and what they've done more impressive, and Aston and what they've done more
devastating.
Devastating.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think yeah, exactly. Cadillac has done something that I think a lot of people would have said we could do, but they didn't. And you look at the grid, you look at a team like Aston Martin, who have all the money in the world, all the experience in the world, and they came with a total turd.
Yeah.
You look at Williams, and their car's overweight and late.
Mm.
It's the byline of my autobiography. And then you look at Cadillac, and they were on time, and they were efficient, and they got their laps in, they've done their testing, they've correlated their data, and they're moving forward. And I think we are going to see them probably, if they stay consistent like this, they'll probably pick up some pieces that other people drop over the course of the season.
Yeah. And again, I don't anticipate them being at, the sharp end of the speed. No, they're not.
No,
But-
they'll be
but
towards
they
the
knew
back.
that.
There's a clear two worst teams, and it's Cadillac and Aston Martin. But Cadillac is the one right now where I'm like, I'd put my money on them rather than Aston Martin.
Yeah, their trajectory feels up and to the right. They're starting from the back.
Yep.
But it feels
To be
like their
expected.
trajectory is up and to the right, whereas Aston is just down to the left.
Who's your dark horse for this season, team-wise?
You mentioned their name earlier, and I'm going to have to go with Alpine, actually, just because they've changed their power unit, and I think they are going to surprise. You remember Alpine at one point was towards the top.
They were always number 4.
They were the best of the rest.
Yes.
We've forgotten that because of how far they have fallen. But I think we could expect to see them back up fighting. And
I really hope we do.
Pierre deserves
Pierre
that.
Gasly.
He has, the man has been through it, and he deserves to be able to fight.
He's a good race car driver. He's a race winner. He deserves to be up there. And I think last year we would have seen them up there more often had their power unit not been underpowered.
Yes.
And again, they finished way at the back last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have the most wind tunnel time on new regulations. They are in a place to be able to bring upgrade after upgrade that has been correlated far greater than any other team could.
Yep.
And put it on the car with, again, if Mercedes wins, they win.
Yep.
They have that power unit and they just start ripping. I think we're going to see them as best of the rest.
Yeah.
I think a close follow-up for them is going to be Haas.
Yeah.
They are looking really good. The Ferrari engine alone for them with its great starts, I think could put them in a place to really be fighting at the front and taking advantage of what mishaps happen throughout the race.
Yeah, it's fascinating with these teams that are at the front. Obviously, the Ferrari versus the Mercedes, but then you've got the teams buying the power units from them. So you've got the Haas versus the Alpine. And it really is kind of like a front, and there's multiple teams fighting against multiple teams based on the power unit supplier. And so I do agree. I think Haas and Alpine are going to be very interesting teams to watch.
Exactly. Yeah. Should be interesting.
We're going into the season.
Australia is next week.
Predictions for Australia. Who are the top 3 on the podium at Australia? You bold enough to make a claim here?
Man, not seeing any practice from Australia itself. Oh, man, this is tough. Okay, I would say Lewis Hamilton wins the opening race of 2026.
Okay.
Oscar Piastri comes in second place, and Max Verstappen comes in third. Those are my predictions for the Australian opening race. What are your predictions?
I'm going to go George Russell.
George Russell.
I'm going to go Chuck and then Lewis.
Okay, top 4 out of McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. How are you ranking them? Constructors coming out of the first race.
I feel like Mercedes and Ferrari are going to be going at each other. So I would pick them 1, 2.
Which one's 1? Which one's 2?
Well, I pick Mercedes. Pick Ferrari. And then honestly, it feels like a toss-up, but probably McLaren and then Red Bull.
Okay. I'm going to say Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Who's our last?
The last team?
Last team. Who's the 11th?
It's Aston.
Aston.
5 laps back. It's going to be like Le Mans. They're going to be like 20 laps back. Aston is just...
They don't even make the grid, dude. It's who knows?
Right?
Man, thank you for joining us for the preseason episode of season 4 of Rolling Start. My goodness.
Wow. We're going into it. It's going to be a good one.
Can't wait to talk about all of what happens in the opening race and to reminisce on how terrible our predictions were.
As always.
We'll see you next time.
See you, folks.
Some good stuff in there.
We just get talking.
We get to chit-chatting up there.
Here's the thing. I'm a verbal processor.